This is Sienna Lea. I'm here with Laura Lee Mistycah, and we're going to dive right into some weird shit. Because we're trying to give you the big picture overview parameters of the kinds of solutions and the kind of explorations Laura Lee Mistycah is going to bring out in this series. Okay, Laura Lee, what kind of weird shit are you going to throw at us right now? All right, start with one, okay? Just one.
Well, on my website, I've got, and this is in the ghost book, there's WS, these are acronyms. WS is weird shit. RWS is really weird shit. RWSS is really weird, scary shit. And then there's RWFS, that's really weird, funky shit, okay? So I'm going to talk about the last one, really weird, funky shit, RWFS, okay? So this is about as weird shit, funky shit as you can get. Okay, I think it's been about 2 years ago now, I was doing my thing like we've been talking about, weird shit 24/7, taking down the bad guys every night, blah, 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 blah. So I must have ticked somebody off, and I started having these insatiable cravings. I wanted ice cream. I don't even like ice cream that much. You know, it's like take it or leave it. I don't care. I wanted ice cream. I wanted butter. It had to be real butter. I wanted yogurt. I wanted cream cheese, anything with cow products in it. Now, I'm a vegetarian, almost a vegan, so this was pretty off for me. So I'd go to the store and I did my research to make sure that the ice cream and the products that I got were from reputable companies that were nice to their cows. That was really important to me. So this went on for several months, and I would make it a point to have 5 or 6 containers of ice cream in my fridge all the time. And if I got down to 3, I'd get really anxiety. I'd make a special trip to the store to make sure I had ice cream. And butter, I love butter. And well, after a while, this started having a toll on my body because I was eating so much. And not only was I gaining weight, but I started getting heart palpitations like that. And at night, I finally started like putting a bunch of pillows so I could sleep almost sitting up. If I was flat, my heart would go into arrhythmia, and it was scary. This was really scary and kind of hard to breathe. And after a while, I thought, this is really weird behavior. I'd go to the store and, I had my little shopping cart, and I'd be like, first place I'd go is for ice cream. and so I sat down. After a while, I'm like, you got to figure this out. This is stupid. You don't even like ice cream that much. What the hell is going on with you? Mm-hmm. So I got my rocks. I got my awesome rocks, Stone of Truth. I'm like, okay, just give it to me. What is the matter with me? And I was getting that I had a shove-in. Now, I talk about shove-ins in my ghost book, and people would call it possessions, right? But
entities.
So I call it a shove-in. That's the kind of the term I coined, of something shoving into you and kind of taking over. Their voice will change, and it's like whoever's got the microphone will be the one that gets to run the body. So I was getting that I had a shove-in, but it wasn't a normal shove-in. It wasn't like a ghost. It was a baby cow. And not just any baby cow. It was a digital baby cow. A digital shove-in, okay? And yeah, try to wrap your head around this. So I'm like, well, that's really RWS, okay? So I take my rocks and I do this protocol. I put myself in Kryahgenetics egg. So I've got this protective protocol around me. And I removed this, and then I made sure that I got all of I did the implant removal to make sure I got all of the backlash and anything that could bring it back. And then when you're done with that protocol, we'll have that in a future show. But when I got done with that and I reinstated my 3-part star system, I'm like, I don't even care about ice cream anymore. And I went into the fridge and I loaded up all the ice cream and I ran it over to the neighbors because they had lots of kids and they appreciated it. They thought it was great to have all this ice cream come over from the neighbors. I told them that I kind of fibbed. Well, it's not really fib, but I told them that I had gotten it for Thanksgiving, and all of our guests were gone, and I just couldn't eat it myself, so I gave it to them. And after that, I don't care about ice cream. I don't eat butter. I eat coconut oil. I don't have cheese and cream cheese and all that stuff.
So all of that went away.
Instantly gone. It's been 2 years, and I haven't had it back. So, yeah, tell me that wasn't real, right? It's something and my heart started doing better.
Cow.
A digital cow.
So what did you do to get rid of this digital cow again?
The implant removal protocol is what I did because it was pretty much an implant. Okay. And that will be, I think we should have that in one of our future shows.
Okay, great. So,
and I'm still alive. Okay, it was killing me. Ronnie, my Ghostbuster partner, calls it death by ice cream. And that's pretty much what it was.
I imagine there are quite a lot of us that are in that with one addiction or the other. So are you saying that there's interdimensional interference? These shove-ins are jumping into our bodies and taking over our desires, our urges, our thoughts, our emotions. I mean, just now that we're on the topic of shove-ins, do you think that people's physical ailments, we hear a lot of stories about people that have tried everything, alternative stuff, everything, and nothing really shifts their condition. Have you worked with any of those kind of people with shove-ins? And if so, could you give us some?
One is smoking. We've had people that had smokers, or people that maybe smoked back when they were a teenager, just start taking it up. And it wasn't them, it was their shove-in. And then you get rid of the shove-in and they don't care. They quit like that. They don't care. So absolutely that happens a lot.
So what do you do with these shove-ins? Do you disintegrate them, or do you help them?
It depends on who they are.
What do you mean?
Depends on who they are, where they came from.
Well, it's not your call. Don't you go to your council in the rocks and don't you ask for higher guidance of what to do with these beings?
What I do now, and it's working really well, is I use this to quarantine them in, and after I get them stabilized and kind of filter out the crap, and then I can, me and the rocks, stone of truth, and the eggs, filter through that stuff to find out if, like my baby cow, that was nothing. There was absolutely nothing good about that baby cow. It was like digital bull caca. Baby cow is bull caca. and there are some beings or things messing with us that aren't real. They're digital, and they just need to be taken to zero.
Okay, so you're destroying these suckers. Now, what do they have to do with the D monster? the feminine, the queen bitch, the head of it all that's been taken out. But we're going to talk about all this. There's lots of overlays and webs and incredibly engineered pockets of stuff she left behind, and they're in a lot of us as well. And it all needs to be removed because it's still behind the scenes operating through people's shadows, really.
Right, and some of them are background programs running. I see a lot of that.
But what does it have to do with the AI, like this cow? Did she have something to do with AI?
Oh, heck yeah. AI is her baby.
Oh, she's AI's mama.
Yes.
Isn't that touching?
Isn't that great? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe
Yeah,
a lot of
it
people
makes so
watching
much
this are going to
sense.
think AI is super cool and our future and the promise of everything.
Yeah.
And, actually there is that potential. I never want to just portray anything as all evil. But we're talking about the evil, the malevolent side of AI, the corrupted side, okay? So she was...
It's supreme, and it wants to own everything. Yeah.
So she had a team, didn't she?
She had a huge team.
Of like demented super geniuses.
Oh yes.
To like the anti-Teslas and the
exactly.
and Enki and Enlil, they're all a part of this somehow.
Enlil definitely. Enki, he got the bad rap. He was actually from outside the hologram, and he was actually trying to help everything. And if you hear anything bad about him, it's disinfo.
Okay.
He was really doing his part to.
He was part of the rescue team.
He was part of the rescue team.
Mm-hmm.
And his evil brother, Enlil Jehovah, it was his thorn in his side all the time.
So there was it wasn't just the D-monster. She had a crew of the greatest and the best, and she seems to love to enlist the greatest and the best of us.
Oh, yeah.
And distort us to where she can use our creative energy because, from what I understand, these beings and her entourage and her minions don't have creativity.
She wanted to, from what I understand, that element was removed from her, and that's another story that really ticked her off. So she did what she could and manipulated everything and destroyed everything.
But the stuff you're talking about, I haven't heard parts of it, elements, people working in this area, but this like inside intel that you're bringing, I haven't heard this anywhere else.
Yeah, you probably won't either. Not for a while anyway, till more people start really getting involved and understanding it. And it's like the bigger picture and putting the puzzle pieces together, and it starts really making sense. But there's not that many people that they understand the bigger picture, how it all really started. And I think it's funny as all get out that the most evil thing in all creation was the Dean monster, which was female-ish. She kind of had...
That's going to sit so badly with people. Because it's all the time when the divine feminine is coming to save us, and it's so wonderful to reboot the purity and the beauty. And it is, and it needs to. It's absolutely, the end destination is that purity, getting our purity in our hearts back. Absolutely. But the thing is, this distortion through the Shadowlands is pretty massive.
It is.
Now, really, wasn't it? I mean, the average person, how infected are they with these programs, would you say?
I don't know how else to put it. We're working on it, and there's there's a lot of progress, but look at how crazy people are. I mean, to find somebody that's not like batshit crazy is hard. Really. Really. Everybody's been so messed with.
Well, it's very cleverly engineered that we are phobic about facing the shadow or looking in the dark side for our keys to liberation. We're terrified of ourselves. There's the taboo against knowing who we are. So when we become alone, we take, a holiday from the media. We're really alone. There's this terror of going within, of what's within. And then, of course, with the traumas that everybody has been submitted to greater or lesser extent, of course, we mainly try to suppress them and dissociate from them and keep our happy face and our positive outlooks and hope it just goes away. But from my work all these years in shadow, that's actually the loosh that this whole system is feeding on. So that's why shadow and interference really has my attention in terms of what I want to bring, practical tools and supportive community to quantumly untangle this unbelievable cluster, that everybody has to a greater or lesser extent. And coming out of denial and aversion is the big thing, because the mind control, and we're going to go into so many layers of this all the way into MK Ultra and beyond. We are so programmed. As we get closer to really unlocking, actually, I've heard you go to work interdimensionally. When you actually figure out what it is, call it by name, you're unlocking it easily. You may have gotten clobbered and horrible things happen and walking through the muck too. But when you actually get what it is, with the tools and techniques that you've been given, choom, game over. And that's why there's so much mind control that we've been programmed never, 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 ever to look in the place where our true liberation is. And a lot of it's in these invisible realms that we are phobic to venture into. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. And if you're afraid to look, you'll never find it. That's just bottom line.
And now, you even had said in some of your events, and I experienced it too, and I did that My Lab thing, I was accused of being the biggest and baddest and evilest, which I have been, no doubt. But anyway, when two are gathered who have these kind of mind control programmings, they seem to go for the jugular on each other. So that when people are gathered in the spirit of healing, the ones that could really get together and start comparing notes and getting to the bottom of stuff, they repel each other. It's been happening here. We've been going through layers and layers of this. I've been just taken over practically daily. Get the heck out of here. This woman is a nut job. What the heck are you doing? You're ruining your blah, blah, blah. You don't ever bring her on to rise. Every day. It's been so thick that I've had to use every tool in the book. And I've just upped
You're doing good.
Yeah, at the moment. Last night was kind of gnarly. So, which also grabs my attention, because that doesn't happen with the false lighters. None of this happens.
They don't get that, do they?
No, they don't.
It's all kumbaya, isn't it?
Well, or dazzling you with their bullshit and roping you in. But we are such sitting ducks because, you get your memory wiped. You don't know who you are. You don't know why you're here. And you're getting attacked and bombarded, and nobody even in the mainstream is going to even tell you any that's real. It's a rough ride. Your main focus has been indigos. So tell us something about your perspective on the indigos in regards to all of this.
They get trashed pretty good. End of story. No.
Who are they? How about for starters, who are they?
They are people who are from another, not from Earth, They're from what we call the ultraviolet realm. It is in order to have graduated from the ultraviolet realm training school, we'll call it, you had to go through several other cosmic cleanup crew training courses to even be accepted. And once your training was over, you were imbued with this ultraviolet light in your energy field. Now, one of the things that the New Age is doing is telling indigos to trade their ultraviolet light, their indigo light, for crystal light.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, it's about bull caca. It's like, no, you earned that. That is, you don't want to get rid of it, and it's actually a downgrade to go to a crystal energy around you. It sounds like it should be, like crystal should be the top of the top, but it's not.
So aren't we supposed to? They're saying that the indigos and the crystals, and they're the next evolutionary jump. They're more advanced than crystals, and that we're getting crystalline bodies, silica-based bodies, as we ascend and go into our light bodies. So what do you say to that?
Well, I'm in the middle of writing a chapter on that in Kryahgenetics too. I'm working on that. But think about this. When something is in your body and it crystallizes, what happens?
It hurts.
It hurts. You get crystals in your bones and you get arthritis. If things in your bloodstream start crystallizing, it coagulates and it gets stuck and you start having heart attacks. And if it goes in your brain, you start having brain aneurysms and brain shorts out. Having crystals in your body is not a good thing. And it sounds all fluffy bunny white light. It's not.
Okay, so that's good. All right, so let's get back to the indigos.
Okay.
Because, all right, from what I understand, they are an evolutionary jump. Yeah, they went to school, but their DNA, they are a different version of something. They're coming from outside the hologram. There's some inside the hologram.
Right.
So they're a much higher level consciousness, right? They have superpowers. They have the capability to be the knights. Don't you have a knight's training?
Yes.
Knights warriors, to break through the lies and the corruption, what's been done here by the entire legions run by the dark feminine queen and all the patriarchy, all the masculine that have supported it, and we'll have to get into why on earth would they be so suppression of the feminine if the feminine was leading them. But there's so many pieces of this. So
because there can be only one.
Right. So she created a whole legion to destroy the feminine here. All the beautiful, innocent, gorgeous women to totally live on them for food.
She's pretty narcissistic. There can be only one.
Yeah, and they're all serving that. So, but we're going to break that down a lot more in the future. But let's find, because most of the people who are going to go bing are the indigos. If you are an indigo, probably you're getting those shivers. Things are starting to go, wait a minute. And so I kind of want to outline, who are these beings? Because most of them have been told that they're basket cases, they're insane, they're out of control, they're OCD, they're getting given Ritalin, they're castaways, they're scapegoated, they're lone wolves, they're outsiders, and yet they're actually the solution for the corruption that's here.
Indigos came to this planet, the biggest chunk came between 1969 and 1987. That's when the biggest chunk. But before that, the beginning of the first wave was us boomers. And then there was sprinklings of first wavers throughout history. Nikola Tesla was a first waver. So that lets you know the caliber of beings that are in this amazing, we're going to fix this place because it's really messed up. And so they, it's like you said, they're not like other people, and they know they're different. I mean, you can have like two in a family or one in a family, and they look around and go, where's my real family? I've heard that so much. They write to me and go, my family is not my family. I need to find my real family. It's like they have this gut thing where they know this ain't right. Whatever's going on, it ain't right. And they came with abilities that other people don't have. And a lot of abilities, not just one or two, but like a whole list of them.
So your night's training is helping them heal from the severe lives that many of them had, helping, in many cases, just helping them survive, right? Some of them are in really bad shape.
Yes, survive and then thrive, because what has been happening is because of the implants and the forced earth entrance agreements and all this caca we had to do.
Wait. Okay. So I think that it might be a good time to briefly mention what forced earth entrance agreements are and how they impacted indigos.
Okay, that's very good. They are, in order to get a body on Earth, you had to sign these stupid agreements or you couldn't get in. That was one of the D-Monster's things, because she felt like if we did that, we'd never wake up, our lives would be hell, and we'd kill ourselves. So it worked for her. And there was some cosmic thing that made it so she couldn't, there was some kind of a lockout or something that she couldn't lock us out, but she just had to make the game so rigged, we either wouldn't sign the contract, or if we did, we would be like batshit crazy once we got here and live lives of hell. So that worked for her.
So, and the point of all that is for the potential that then gets dissociated to be harvested and used, because she has no creative energy and all her minions don't either. So bringing them in makes perfect sense. All of that incredible juicy...
Bring the powerhouses in.
Bring the powerhouses in, and then...
Or allow them in.
And then use that weapon, the scatter weapon.
Right.
And a zillion other weapons, and your expertise in analyzing all the weaponry against them and reversing it. That's who you are. Right? Did I get it yet?
Yeah, you got it. That kind of sums it up.
See,
weapons are us. And anti-weapons are us, I should say.
Right. Yeah, and we're not just going to lay all this on you and not help you unwind it. If you're going, sign me up. So we'll say where we're going to start bringing people in to the training before we're done here.
Let me just tell two forced agreements.
Perfect. That's just where to go. Yes.
I'll get my trusty notebook out here. Okay, one of them is mandatory amnesia acceptance. It's like we had to have our brains wiped. Now, the thing is, we had some fail-safes inside that says, okay, even though your brain gets wiped out, if certain coordinates start happening in your core star, it starts triggering your brain and your memories start coming back.
And the core star is our divine design, the original blueprint upgraded that the work is all headed towards. And once that's happening, then this is where the restoration and you come back online. Yeah.
Right. And another one is forced paradigms, forced scenarios, and forced templates. So we said, okay, put a template on me. It sucks, but I don't get in unless I have it. Another one is making static. You make static so you can't hear your spirit guides. Now, how's that for shooting yourself in the foot?
Wow.
And once you get these taken out, life just starts getting so much better. I'm not saying it's good every day, all day, every day, but God, you just don't have all that crap weighing you down all the time in this stupidity.
The night's training, you're going to be helping people remove these forced agreements.
Yep. And find their implants. We'll do implant removal.
I think we're about done for today. This is a lot to wrap ourselves around, so we're delivering it in smaller pieces. And we are also offering packages. Both Laura Lee with her Kryahgenetics will be offering packages, and she'll tell you about that. Sienna Lea with the shadow synthesis, where we're working with shadow and interference. So we're both addressing a lot of these issues, and we're coming at it from different angles, and we're also collaborating. So the gaps in my work, these techniques are fulfilling, and some of the gaps in the shadow piece in preparation for the deeper and higher dimensional work, shadow synthesis is covering. So Laura Lee is a mentor, and her private sessions are available through Rise Multiversity, and we're going to be doing packages, so you can go check all of that out. So if you want to just start right working with Laura Lee, you can by checking out her on the in the mentor section, and her private sessions. And I have shadow synthesis courses on many different levels, as well as private sessions. So that's all found here at Rise Multiversity. So we'll be back really soon, to go deeper and get in touch with it.
The water's fine.
If you're going, oh my gosh, just get a hold of it. All right.